Guess what time it is? It's stream time! And you know that soon is Ace Attorney! Yay! We're back! I feel refreshed after last week's Zenless Zone Zero. And I have now just realized that I forgot to change the game category. So, before we get into it, I'm gonna do some speedrunning here. Get rid of that. Put in Great Ace Attorney. You get to hear my very clackety keyboard. There we go. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Okay, the stream's updated, everything is fine. Anyways, so today we are back and we're gonna start Trial 2. I don't know if I'll have enough time this summer to get through the entire game because I'm only planning to stream for the summer. I might stream during the rest of the year if I have time for it, but for now the plan is only over the summer. So we'll get through as much of the game as we can. I'll probably still swap to different games every once in a while just to keep it fresh. But for now, we're gonna take it as it comes. We're playing Trial 2. I am afraid. I'm afraid for one reason, and that is I have a terrible sinking feeling that Cosimo will no longer be with us. I don't think he's gonna die, I should clarify. He's not gonna die, it's okay, he's safe. I do think it's gonna go like other Ace Attorney games where like he's only with us for the first trial, and I think he's not gonna die, I promise. He's okay, he's safe. But I think my guess is he's probably gonna be replaced with frickin' Herlock Sholmes, which I'm already attached to Cosmo, and no one can replace him, he's perfect. But I guess, whatever. Maybe Herlock Sholmes will be endearing in some form, but who knows. He's still not my Cosmo. Not my man. Anyways, let's get into it. Why not? Without further ado, Trial 2, let's go. Who's gonna get moited this time? Probably no one we know, I would imagine. The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled
In a corner
Band.
of that small, dark room,
Ooh, narration.
Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time,
Sholmes!
there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound.
There's a cat stuck in the vents! Let him out! Free him!
Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the... I raised my dark lantern shutter, and the room slowly came into view.
Gasp.
Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band.
That sucks for final words.
This is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an
Snack.
enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike.
Snack!
It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Leave her alone. She's trying her best. She's literally just living her life. Alright, 9th of January, freaking 9. I can't read numbers anymore. I'm getting more illiterate as the day goes on. The more streams I have, the harder it gets to read. Oh, there he is!
Let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way.
Locked door
This
mystery.
would appear to be a locked
Oh,
room mystery.
locked room mystery, my bad.
In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle.
Okay, pompous British man voice. I can do that.
So the victim was a Russian man then, and the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time.
If Danganronpa has taught me anything, it's not Russian. You just have to look at it upside down.
And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a...
He's got a gun! Oh my god, this is Danganronpa. He's gonna shoot us with the truth!
This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well,
Oh.
what have we here?
Oh my goodness.
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
Shh. That won't be
Ah,
necessary.
animated
You
Russians
see,
reminds me of
in
Yuri
less
on
than 5
Ice.
seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What?
The gasp!
Don't be absurd. This is murder. I need cabin locked from inside.
The guy looks like a
Yes, the
candy
locked
cane.
room, but that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come
I
from?
mean, this is like a whole show.
Great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Holmes.
God dang it, there he is.
You must have heard of me.
Yes, I've heard of you. Yay! That was delightful. Minus the murder, but otherwise delightful. Ugh, my head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Herlock Sholmes, not to be confused with the other guy. No. Herlock Sholmes has no relation to any famous detectives at all. Wait, I can't move! Wait, where? Oh no! My polygonal wrists! Why am I in handcuffs? So you wake up now, Oh, hello. Oh god, I gotta do a Russian accent? I can't do a Russian accent? Frick, okay. Oh, okay. I have a prediction. I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of Russians in this one. Because they were both of those sailors were Russian, so I'm guessing there's probably gonna be more significant characters that are also Russian. So I'm gonna give him just like a normal average voice for now and save my one Russian voice for someone more important. Big brain. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then. We found you, and now you pay. Criminal! He's so Russian, he spelled it with a K. Maybe I do have to give him a Russian accent, jeez. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, sorry. Wait, I was in the wardrobe? Uh-oh. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. Oh my gosh, there's another person here. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Oh, it's what's-her-face. Sasato! Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Am I being accused of another murder? I swear to God, Ryunosuke. Miss Sasato. Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Oh no. Oh no, please don't tell me he's actually dead. Oh no. No! My boy, please, I was joking before. Oh no. You pretend you do not know? You are a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. I'm gonna cry. I might actually cry. I swear to God, if Kazuma is dead, I will lose it. No! Oh no, Kazuma! My boy! Oh no! I have tears in my eyes. Oh my goodness, Kazuma, my son's body was discovered. No, I am so upset. I am livid. His sword, no! Why? Here in this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside, his body. Oh, I'm so mad. I should have known. Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Cosmo's dead, but he can't be. he was my boyfriend. No. I am so upset. I am furious. I am rioting. I'm gonna go out in the streets and I'm going to scream from the rooftops. My boy demands justice. Are these handcuffs? Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please. Girl. No. No. I'm glad Ryunosuke and I are on the same page. I'm so upset. My life is ruined. Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Oh, my boy. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Haha. Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to stay? He stowed him away so he could come with? Oh my god, that's so sad. They are bonded for life. Oh my god. My heart is crushed. It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was gonna die. Oh, this is gonna be my last time voicing him then, probably, huh? Oh man. I liked his voice, it was fun. Okay, better make it good. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Sir, please don't insult me. I'm not in the emotional mental capacity to handle that right now. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together! I am so... I have no words. Why did it have to be Kazuma? Okay. Keep it together. I'm okay. I'm okay. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer! No, I'm not a murderer! Duh, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? My man? My soulmate? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Sasato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know.
Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too.
Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Kazuma's death, I guess. He He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer?
When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside.
What do you mean?
There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls.
What?
Or, to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation?
This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly?
Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances?
Please, Sasato-san, you have to tell me!
The cause of death is still undetermined.
They don't know how he died?
The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call.
So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then?
That's true, yes.
Okay, tell me about the incident. I swear to God, if he was poisoned. Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma?
Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone.
Please.
Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all.
Well, yes I was, but...
He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't.
Does that mean he was already dead when Sasato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder?
I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside...
Oh no! It is like Danganronpa, god dang it!
There was Kazuma-sama collapsed on the floor.
I swear to God, if it turns out that like Kazuma tried to murder someone and they just killed him in self-defense, we're done, we're over. Stream ends there. The white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow.
I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe.
This is all very hard to believe for me too, trust me.
Now I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question.
Yeah, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Why does my head hurt? Was I, like... Well, I guess I wouldn't be poisoned or I'd be dead. Was I, like, drugged? That's alarming. Stowaway.
Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time.
I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing?
No, that would have been impossible, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together.
He actually asked you? But why?
I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. Because he loves Ryunosuke.
I don't understand.
Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you?
It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself.
Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious.
You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that.
But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Wait, I thought you went to I thought we were in a law school. What have you been studying this whole time, Ryunosuke?
Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there?
Well, no, definitely not.
But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then...
Then what?
Nothing, forget it.
Oh, he was gonna say then we can be lawyers together! Oh. I'm never gonna recover.
Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you.
Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Sasato-san, I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on this ship, I mean.
If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association.
That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. Okay, I'll tell you about last night. We definitely didn't do anything at all together. Alone in the cabin at night. That would be absurd. Anyways,
if you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin?
Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there just like I always did. After that, I...
Fell asleep?
Well, yes. Did Kazuma knock me out?
So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed?
Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything.
Really?
Is something wrong?
Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it.
Sasato-san, you have to believe me, I didn't do it.
I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this.
Here we go again. I like to think this is the whole game, like every single trial is just by absolutely insane circumstances. Ryunosuke keeps getting blamed for murders he didn't commit. Oh, wouldn't that be so cool if like the final one was like he actually did kill someone, but like everyone's like, oh, it's just another one of those circumstances where he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I should write my own Ace Attorney game, just saying. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? I can't take this.
Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen.
I'm sorry. If they think that I did it, why on earth would they leave little tiny Sasato alone with me? Like, I feel like, granted, Ryunosuke is pretty pathetic, and I feel like she could probably take him, honestly. But, like, they should have at least given her some backup, right? I'm just saying. Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? They really like this model they made for his hands, don't they? They keep showing it. I get it. He's in handcuffs. I know. No, I can't allow that to happen.
Well, what do you propose to do then?
I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Yeah! Oh my god. I was right, she can take him. What the?
That was a Sasato takedown.
A Sasato what? What martial art form is that?
I'm going to need you to prove it.
Sorry? Prove it?
Yes, your innocence. I need evidence.
But how am I supposed to...
Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law.
Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Sasato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime. Oh. It says keep out in Japanese, though I'm not sure the Russian crew can actually read it. Present?
Yes!
Wait, if it was... Sorry, I'm probably thinking way too far ahead already, but like, if Kazuma wrote that writing on the floor in Russian, how on earth does he know Russian? Is he just that flawless and talented and amazing, or like... Where did he learn Russian? Did he mention that he knows Russian? Because like, I could totally see him just knowing like a billion languages. Whatever, I guess we'll get to it, we'll get to it. Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors?
Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly.
I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there, just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well.
Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them.
But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own.
Yes, that's quite true.
In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma.
Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you.
Thank you, Susato-san. Now do you think perhaps you could help me up?
Well, in light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least.
Thank you! So you finally believe me?
I'm sorry, no.
What?
I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position.
Or, like, more believably, if I did kill Kazuma, I could have just, like, poisoned him, and then he just put me in the closet before the poison, like, activated, but whatever. Anyways. What does she think I am, a magician?
For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same.
Alright, let's get to work, Sasato-san.
Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts.
Oh.
I shall be watching you, to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example.
Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death! Oh. Oh. Oh, this is our first time actually getting to investigate a crime scene in this game. That's fun. Oh, I'm really bad at these, though. Okay, let's do some examining. Oh, you're still here. Okay. We'll get to you later. First, let's examine Kazuma's sword. Oh.
That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul.
I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip.
He had to convince the government to let him bring it on the trip, but he didn't have to convince anyone to bring it into a courtroom? I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone. But I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Oh.
Oh dear, that won't do.
Oh, what's the matter, Sasato-san?
Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly.
Yes, not good.
I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? sure you're careful to look all around using B and M. Why B and M? Why not A and D or the arrow keys? Okay. Now, let's investigate all corners of this cabin. Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Oh, that's really weird. Oh, A and D move the reticle. That is so strange. Why are the controls like that? Okay, anyways. Let's investigate this, whatever it is that I'm looking at. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. It looks like a bell! Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Natsuke fastener from Kimono Outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? I mean, maybe. And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue. Yeah, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Oh, that's cool. It shows a little check mark over stuff I've examined before. Oh, I didn't mean to... Skip! 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 Yeah, I know! I didn't mean to... I'm sorry! Oh, okay. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. It does? Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes, I see it says "this way up" in Japanese. Which, in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewman wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Sasato takedown. Okay, let's examine this bright red thing. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Burya. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Oh, we already failed that one. There's a sword on the floor. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Well, sorry, Ryunosuke, you're gonna have to go home. Pets aren't allowed. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I can't decide.
Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Mysterious bookshelf. The books have fallen over on the shelf, look. They've all toppled the same way.
And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well.
Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mowed down at once.
I wonder if... perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, do you think?
I seriously doubt it.
Then perhaps... it was you, Naruhodo-san? In a fit of rage.
I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder?
Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess.
Man, this is a crime scene! Okay, this suspicious painting! Investigate thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. Ah, okay. What about this thing? Seigi, the Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Maybe not as straight as initially supposed? Just saying?
Yes, calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame knowing who drew them so thoughtfully?
Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stowed away on this ship?
Now you're gonna bring that up, are you? I can't win.
Listen, we were going on bestie adventures across the world, okay? Jeez. Okay, what is all this stuff? Investigated thoroughly. What do you mean? There's a bunch of stuff all over the floor. Ugh, okay. What about this ruffled tablecloth? No, okay. Okay. I guess the body outline? Did Kazuma write that before he died? Looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Quick, look at it upside down. Does it say anything? Nope, not really. What if you look at it in a mirror? That's how it worked in Danganronpa, right? It's like upside down and reflected. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his fingers in the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Okay, spilled ink bottle. Okay, never mind. Mysterious tube? Dang it. Okay, let's look at the desk. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination. It looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hiya! Man! That's out of the question! What? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. But I gotta know if he liked me or not. What if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either, but in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Okay, bed. Dang it. Tassel. Yes, it's a belt cord contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes! In the interests of cultural research, obviously. Yep. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone's busy, that's all. Okay, closet. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail for Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So, yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. I see a suspicious vent up here! A potential entry point? Okay, we're looking for somebody who's small enough to fit in a vent. The first child we see, I'm calling it. They're the killer. I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin.
Isn't that a little odd?
What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must be connected to the next... looks like it must connect to the next door cabin.
Yes, it would appear to. You're right.
But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside.
That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough. Or something like that.
Okay, hear me out. The killer was in the next room, and they stood up on a stool at the vent, released a gas through the vent into this room, so that Kazuma inhaled the gas and died. But I was fine because I was in the closet. That's my theory, that's my hypothesis. That's definitely what happened, no questions asked, case closed. It was a child who has access to gas. Okay, anyways.
Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough. Or something like that?
I suppose, maybe that's it. Oh my god! There's a man! Where did he come from? Who is that? He was there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. That's your first thing that you're noticing.
Oh, how did he...
This looks like a meme format right here. This screenshot looks like a meme format. I don't know for what, but you've noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious. And tall. Suspiciously tall. How can you tell?
Naruto-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is?
Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. Doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's also something very unusual about him. I don't know, is it the fact that he's upside down on a desk? And is he investigating because of his desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell.
Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him.
Am I just imagining it, or does Sasata-san look almost uncontrollably excited?
By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case. If you press space on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them.
Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself.
Oh, please do.
I wanted to talk to the other guy, though. Okay, examine. Can I talk to the other guy first? I want to talk to you. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me. What? I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but is not true, I see. Sorry? A criminal asking investigator for information about his crime? Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke.
He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty.
He might have useful information, though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Niet, of course not. Now back to the corner of the room and make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there, you seemed a little flustered. Okay, kinda sus. Anyways, you, hello. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Oh god, here we go. Okay, this might take a minute to sort out. Shh! This is a criminal point in my investigation. No, that's a bit Australian, my bad. Oh dear. Maybe I just leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly.
Yes, perhaps that would be for the best.
Oh my god. Oh my god, hi! Oh, I didn't even have time to read what he said. What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? There's strange noises happening. Oh, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? Feels like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least.
But how?
How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining.
Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else?
But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madame. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary.
Oh, he's dumb.
Oh, he's really dumb. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the beribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Okay. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits that bill. Oh, this is good.
So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-san.
Susanoo! Ma'am! What?
And you're plotting a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked.
No, listen, there's no way I...
Hiya!
Ma'am, please stop throwing me.
Now explain yourself. Tell me everything.
This is ridiculous. Off to a great start.
How can you do it?
For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously.
Oh, forgive me.
And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. What is this pose? Oh, but was I not right? Whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yeah, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see? What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, and observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. Ah, I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. My god, this game.
So, it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes.
The very same. The inimitable actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man, Susanoo-san?
The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san. Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him.
What planet have I been living on, then?
We must ask him what he has deduced. He'll have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure.
Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Okay, converse. Okay, great detective. So you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I'm none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Hairlock, was it? No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication.
Oh yes, Rand's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially.
Ah, yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Oh. Oh no. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Dr. Wilson, ooh. I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this bit seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form.
A science?
Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. Furtive glance, a twitch of the muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can you look me in the eye and claim that? So, you see, I have a turn both from observation and for deduction. And fame! That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Sholmes. Cool. So about my dead best friend. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. Great. Wonderful. Fantastic.
When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open.
And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective, Sherlock Sholmes, was on board. And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on this scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really? Two facts, you say? Oh god. Tell me about these two facts. Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please, what two facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Oh yes, but first, let us be precise. The two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yeah, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed, following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes, what made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is the Russian word for wardrobe.
Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian?
Why did it have to be wardrobe? Why do you have to rat me out? What the frick, Kazuma?
In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling in their head. For this young man, Russian. I'm pretty sure Kazuma is the most Japanese man to ever Japanese. Initially, I considered Gardrob may be the name of a killer. A certain Robert Gard, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you are acquainted. If my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. My Japanese schoolboy outfit? Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people. I had no idea. I feel like I'm losing brain cells by the minute. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. Oh, Kazuma. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. His fist is in a fist. I wonder if he's holding something in his hand. Oh, and the wind that doesn't exist has inexplicably stopped flapping his little headband thing. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, thank you. Yay. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that? Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Do you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if it interests you. How many times— I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian! Okay, tell me about your deductions. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean. Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part? Ah yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Oh, was it now? Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads... Revolutionary villain Bolshevik. That's his name, villain Bolshevik. I wonder who the villain could be. Please Russia be Shanghai. That's me, that's Ryunosuke. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday. Last night, the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik. No, how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man, just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learnt to revolutionize your appearance as well. Ugh, please. And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Ah yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all these particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with the newspaper reporters, I wonder?
What about the part where he said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. The magical land of Afghanistan. Here, take the papers for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you? I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. Oh, thanks, I guess. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back? Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian, I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Wait, can I look at it now? Court record. Examine. Aha! This means nothing to me. Who is this woman? This is interesting.
Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san?
Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting.
I can't read a single word, I'm afraid.
Nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think?
She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you?
I don't know, I can't make any sense of it. Oh, I'm glad you've noticed this article. Ah! Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? Was it Great Comet of 1812, where, like, literally the opening number says that it's a complicated Russian novel, everyone's got 9 different names. It would appear that the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from a dressing room. Wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. I assume that's a lot. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles?
I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money.
It's like a dollar store crown. Sasato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to receive both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain.
Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country?
It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. Cough, cough, Anastasia. Cough, cough. Excuse me. I'm bringing up so many musicals today.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo.
Alright. Anyways, continuing. What you were just investigating. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma. Ah, yes, the victim.
Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all?
Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. Kazuma's keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic! And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you read it already? It is my business to know other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Sasato takedown is. Sasato-san? Are you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns?
I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean?
Life is so unfair. Oh, poor Ryunosuke. He's been thrown like 3 times in the past 10 minutes.
Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belongs to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering! Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nado, I trust you're suitably impressed. I mean, no. Well, this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters of which I can read precisely none. It's okay, buddy. Kanji is hard. I barely know kanji. Ah, ha ha ha. So, what was all that showing off about before then?
If you would be so kind as to show me, I'd be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm much obliged, my dear madame.
The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound.
Whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on.
The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
Snack! Snack! A speckled band? What on earth does that mean?
I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before.
The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Alright. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least.
Do you have somewhere to go?
As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh dear.
Oh, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to?
Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate, and the truth will become clear soon enough. You think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. Well, but why? A simple glance at your wrists should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter, no? There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. Oh. You must be joking! You just said it only a moment ago! Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing.
Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too.
You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. I really like the writing in this game, it's very fun. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Ah ha ha. Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name.
Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for?
Huh?
We must go investigate the cabin next door as well.
Are you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can... Oh my god!
After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate?
Well, that wasn't the plan until you threw me to the ground. As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door.
Good idea.
The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this. And bring the real culprit to justice. Okay, will it let me examine the bottle now? No. The chair! No. This mysterious pipe! Okay. All this stuff? I feel like this is important. I don't know why it's not letting me do it. What? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I want to look at... I want to look at... I want to look at... Oh my gosh.
There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason.
Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute.
What is it?
That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all.
So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama.
No. The light fixture. Okay. We'll try it. Nope. Not the light fixture. Can we talk to this guy some more? Excuse me. What? I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Would you mind if I investigated a little outside? Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it is not true, I see. Sorry? Criminal asking prison guard to help him escape? Very funny. We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping. Nyet. You stay in this cabin until next port. Then it is up to Hong Kong police to decide what they do with you. You stay! Alright. There's no point in trying to appeal to this man's better nature, that's for sure. Oh, could we investigate the lock?
When I went for help and the crewmen forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed.
It's quite a small bolt, not particularly sturdy. It just slides across this to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel, the culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Where did she get that from?
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself.
It's such a cute little book.
But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
She glares at me like that. I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. It's okay, Ryunosuke. I'm bad with eye contact, too. Okay. Anything to investigate that I haven't looked at already? Anything over here? Checked all that. Checked all that. Do I have something in the court record I need to examine more? Okay, let's look through what we got. Got this thing. It's got the tape on it still. Or the sticky bit.
Ah, these must be remnants of the glue you used to stick the paper seal on the wardrobe.
That's right, it was pulverized rice.
Pulverized rice?
Yes, I pulverized some of the rice from my evening meal, even though it broke my heart. Oh,
broke your heart? What do you mean?
Remember, I'm a stowaway on this ship. All I had to eat were Kazuma's leftovers. Even a couple of grains of rice could have meant the difference between life and death.
Oh my, it must have been awful for you, Naruhodo-san. But I have some glue with me as it happens. You're welcome to use it this evening.
Oh, thank you very much. Why would I need it this evening? Everyone knows it's here. Yeah, he fed me leftovers. He couldn't have just, like, snuck an extra plate. Thanks, Kazuma. Okay, let's see. What else we got? Analyze this. I want to look at his fist. Oh, I can't examine anything yet. Oh. Whoop. 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 Sorry. Easily distracted. Anyways. Okay, let's look at this. This very funny looking Russian man.
I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian.
Nah, me neither. I have no idea what any of this says. Where did you come from? A pair of you floundering is a sorry sight. Allow me to offer some assistance. The article on the front page of this newspaper is concerned with a fearsome Russian revolutionary. It reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Yes, you told us that before. It reveals also that those who see the man's beard with their own eyes never live to tell the tale.
Oh my goodness, he is fearsome.
Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he? The solution is obvious, of course. If he despises his beard to that degree, he need only shave it off.
I'm not quite sure that's the problem, Mr. Sholmes.
Okay, and we already looked at the back, so let's get out of here. Let's look at Kazuma's diary. You can hear a faint whistling sound. And about 10 minutes-ish later, what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Okay, not really much there. Well, what the heck am I supposed to examine now? We looked at everything. Is there more on the desk? No. Maybe we can analyze the vent again? Yeah. Okay, it wasn't that. Yeah, fresh air, all that biz. Alright, okay. Dang, I'm always so bad at this part. I never know what to look for. Okay, wait, what if we go back? Move! Thanks to that so-called detective, I'm even more stuck inside this cabin than I was before. For the time being, I suppose I'll just have to focus my efforts on investigating. Okay, so we must be missing something then. We can't converse or present. Okay. Already looked at the Russian. Maybe there's something more on the door we can look at. Anything suspicious? Sailor Man. Table. Knife! Oh, that's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty. Oh.
Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here?
I'm not a dog, Sasato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor.
But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he?
No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me.
Oh no! Does that mean? Poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly?
Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, I don't think we know what killed him yet, because he didn't have any external wounds. And I don't think they would go with the poisoning thing again, because they did that the last trial, so... I don't know. I don't know how he could have died then if there were no external injuries. Maybe... I don't know if there was a snake involved, I'd be inclined to say venom, but if it was snake venom, then he would have had to have a snake bite on his body somewhere. So... I don't know.
Poor Kazuma-sama.
Oh, right, we already read that.
It's just too horrible.
Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Dude, I am so hungry. I'm gonna eat so much food once the stream is over. Oh my god, there's a man! Is that the butler man? Hasanaga? He kind of looks like Hasanaga. He's probably not Hasanaga. I hope he's Hasanaga. That's what I thought.
Why don't we try talking to him?
Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again. But I suppose I could try. Hello? Sir? Is that— it is Hasanaga!
Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san?
Oh, no, it's just that crewman standing by the door.
I can't help feeling like I've seen him before somewhere. Hasanaga! Hasanaga!
Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah!
Yes, what can I do for you?
Yay! Hasanaga! He's back! I like him! I recognize that face, but it can't be. Oh yeah, we never found out why he's always coughing all the time. It is!
I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hasanaga.
I'm impressed I remembered his name.
Hello again.
What are you doing here?
I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped.
Nearly stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope.
I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship.
Again?
You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector.
If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask.
I never expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Oh my gosh, Hasanaga, I am so excited to talk to you. Tell me about your special orders. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector?
Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew?
Oh, spilled the tea. Tell me the hot goss.
I'm so sorry.
Hmm?
This is all my fault. I take full responsibility.
For what?
My orders were to act as Asagi-san's bodyguard.
Oh. Oh, dude, you messed up bad. Like, as bad as you possibly could have messed up. Ooh. Yikes.
It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asagi-san reached Great Britain without being
Assassinated. Wait, so that was a concern? Uh-oh, assassinated? How could that even be a possibility?
I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all of eventualities.
This is incredible.
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated?
Obviously, we couldn't give Asagi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew.
I feel like you wouldn't get away with... I feel like they would notice pretty quickly that you weren't Russian, but whatever.
I see.
And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here on the first-class deck.
Uh-oh.
I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asagi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize.
Inspector.
So, if there's anything at all I can do to help now, just say the word.
Permission to investigate. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves.
I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer.
Of course not.
We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door.
Yes.
So we need... Oh, sorry. So we need to be allowed out of this cabin.
I'm sorry.
What?
You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door. That stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two.
I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well.
Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive.
What do you mean?
If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to.
But I don't see how...
There may be a way.
What? Really?
Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession.
Evidence?
It's just the same as when you're in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hasanaga could use.
So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate next door. Alright, yes, I think I might know what we could use. So yawny today, oh my goodness. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs. Okay. I guess... the paper seal? Because that's how we proved it to Sasato? How do I... present? Why can I not present? What is going on here? I would like to present this thing. Yes. Yeah. I drew the characters. There are such bold, vivid strokes. Looking about a man came aboard inside a trunk. Those brush strokes needed to make a statement. They found me in that wardrobe. Those Russians would have hurled me into the freezing cold ocean.
I'm sure none of the crewmen would have done anything like that.
Well, I'm not so sure.
They would have forced you to wash dishes in the galley until you were on death's door or something like that.
Wash dishes until I was on death's door? That's a lot of dishes. Okay, but how do I present? No, I didn't mean to do that. I wish there was a skip button. Yeah. Okay. Am I stupid? Where's the present button? Did she say how to present? No, oh my goodness, I am having a day. Okay, back up here. If I can present the detective. Yes. Simply select the present panel. Oh, wait, do I have to... Ah, there we go. I have a big brain. Oh, I don't want to look at it, I just want to present it! There we go, jeez.
Ah, this is the paper seal that was stuck over the wardrobe's door this morning, isn't it?
That's right, to try to stop the cabin steward opening it up and discovering me.
Wouldn't it have been better to write it in English if you didn't know Russian?
Maybe, but Ofuda paper amulets like these are a part of our culture, Inspector. And I thought if I made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to want to look inside.
It isn't easy being a stowaway, is it?
Okay. Oh, is that not it? Okay. I guess maybe... Oh, didn't he say something about the vent in his diary? Like a faint... Yeah, okay, yes. This one. Present.
What's that?
It's Kazuma's diary.
Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary.
Strange?
In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange.
Yes, well, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. What I'd like to know is...
Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector.
Dun dun!
That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin.
That's right, so if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright, let me in there.
Alright then.
Yay! Yeah.
I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see.
Where have you been this whole time? You weren't in the room before, were you?
I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though.
But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders?
I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain.
After all, okay, you don't need to lay your life down for everything, dude. Like, it's okay.
I failed to keep Asagi-san safe. This is the least I can do.
Thank you.
Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san.
Just select move and we can leave this cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. Next week! Because it's time for the end of the stream, I'm afraid. We'll have to wait until next week to see what's in the